Sometimes that's harder than going anywhere else.
Oh, sorry, Matt.
Why I can't say my department's doing a good job. I can't get the chairs though.
Thank you. Almost, you look alive.
Okay, we can't sign off on our hours today then.
That's after that.
Can't sign off on your hours today. You didn't give Matt a check.
That works for me.
You told me there's some chairs up here. When you're done. When you're done.
I guess maybe we can do it just this once.
Ashley, Brian said you get away with it.
I had nothing.
Put him upside down on my desk.
Really?
So remember to do it next time.
Really? Hello. Really?
It's going toward Rob.
What?
The black ink one.
I've already signed it.
Yeah, it's just an FYI. Did you give them all a copy of it?
I thought they already talked to me.
No, they wanted it. Yes, you did. Yes, you have the original in.
Okay, I just want to make sure we have a copy in the frame file.
We have a file that says there's an office renovation.
That's what I want to make sure.
Yes, Scott, you should have had 5 copies of that.
I thought they.
They do. Good, you look confused or lost.
I'll make
Yeah, this one is low.
All the above.
Is that out of order?
Yes.
I'm looking at you. Yeah, very out of the ordinary. These are all just agendas, right?
Ashley?
Is that a work phone? Is that a work phone?
You don't need it.
Good.
Papers are right here. Put that with it.
Another one.
Because the system data in calendar, where your phone calls, where are you? Stays with primarily BlackBerry stuff.
They still make Blackberry?
Yeah, and the state's pretty much married to them.
Thank you, Ashley.
Did you put that on there?
Yep. Did you sign it? Okay. You know, I'm chasing her up and down.
No, I don't care.
Breaker bars and, I don't know.
Oh, I
He's
see
picked
it.
out here.
Right here.
Oh, never mind.
Never mind, I got it, it's on the next
Mike,
page.
did you do the other one?
Sorry.
Michael? Did you do the other form?
What other form?
I gave you, oh, Scott has it.
No. I don't know. We can just look at it.
This is blanket paper.
The next
The
one.
first time,
The next one that comes is yours.
but it'll be done. It's either in there or it's in a folder at my house. I'll catch up eventually.
Because David did sign that.
Yeah.
Well, this is something I still want.
Oh, yeah. I'm really.
Sorry. This is for, then you're gonna have an appointment. Oh, you know what I did in that? You just need to sign it.
Right, but.
Okay, that's what I was saying. It was like you said.
Eliminate.
Okay, I noticed it when I came home from the dentist, so.
All this, this is what it was what was up here, yeah. So you subtract that,
So that makes
and then you got to that, and you come to that number.
figured it out perfectly.
This year already?
Like an hour to remember it.
What
They
is
should
that?
remember this is 2014.
But that adds up to just that?
If you take this one,
Yeah.
which was delivered in December, these were delivered to the end of 14.
Have you finally figured out yesterday about
So
that?
add them all up. Just these two,
Yeah,
and
it's not speaking out, but it will be.
and this,
Or a piece of paper or whatever it is.
that comes up to that.
Alright, call meeting to order. Beginning of each selectmen's meeting, the rules of conduct and procedures shall be read by the chairperson. So everyone will understand that while selectmen's meetings are public proceedings, the public has no right to participate unless the board allows it, or a meeting scheduled as a public hearing. Anyone who wishes to speak about a topic must request to be placed on the agenda by filling out an agenda request form and turning it into the town office at least 5 working days prior to the meeting day. The chairperson will allow 15 minutes for open discussion at the beginning of every board meeting. Anyone speaking to the board will do so in a civil tone. Yelling, swearing, or belittling is not allowed. Anyone doing so will be asked to sit down as a warning. If order is not observed, the person will be asked to leave. If the person does not leave, law enforcement will be called to remove the person from the meeting and charges will be filed. Anyone speaking will represent themselves unless written permission is given from a person wanting to be represented by someone. All personnel issues will be conducted in the executive session with the person present. So, anybody have anything that's not on the agenda? Does everybody have an agenda that wants one? Chris, you raise your hand?
Yep. This letter has two purposes. The first is to submit my resignation from all town boards that I may be involved in, with including but not limited to the Budget Committee and the Appeals Board, effective immediately. The second purpose of this letter is also lodging an official complaint against the board member. I submit my resignation in large part because of an encounter I will report here with the chairman of the board of selectmen, Don Hutchins, after the town meeting on 26 February 2015. He sought me out as I was about to leave the room and shook my hand and boasted in his own words how he had beaten me. I don't recall ever having been involved in anything I could be beaten at. I have a highly decorated war veteran as a witness to this thoughtless, provoking action, who was upset by this remark as much as I was. This remark proves that Donald Hutchins, for whatever reason, has turned a town concern into a personal vendetta and shows his callous disregard for the majority that voted in November. My best way to express my outrage is to walk away from anything to do to help a select board that is always headed by, in my opinion, a man that talks out both sides of his faces. I've lived in this town for all my life except my military service, and have served on committees and boards that have always put the law and what is right first. I've never taken things personal and looked out for the welfare of the community. Mr. Hutchins' statement on 26 February 2015 points out that he has lost all objectivity, is doing possible harm to the town by putting personal feelings first. At this time, I would like to also go one step further and respectfully ask Mr. Hutchins at this time to resign as the chairman of the Board of Selectmen, as he obviously has no valid reason for this personal attack on me. It is my understanding that there is a code of conduct. The selectmen I'm sure unfounded, unsolicited, disparaging remarks made in public to a citizen of the town of Canton are at least unethical, if not illegal. Chris Deere. Here's the complaint. And here's my resignation.
Okay, talk about the resignation first. First thing I'm going to say, Chris, is anytime you served on a board, you've done a good job. It's unfortunate that you feel this way, and I'd ask you to reconsider.
No.
No. Okay. The second thing is, first of all, I'm going to waive my right to executive session. I'm going to do this right out in front of everybody. And any normal human being would be very upset with what you just said, which I am.
Well, I was very upset with what you did on to me.
So why don't we talk about the facts of what really was said?
What was it?
And what was in context and what wasn't. But before we do that, and that the board, people understand that the board, that the special town meeting was adjourned, correct?
The board, it had adjourned, yes.
It had adjourned. Okay. The question has come up before where prior selectmen have been accused of things similar to this. And the question was posed in front of the board, and I'm gonna pose the same question to this board. Is a selectman, after a meeting is adjourned, a selectman only, or do they turn into a selectman and a taxpayer and a citizen of the town? And the answer at that time was selectman and citizen of the town. There's also what we call in America freedom of speech, and I admire your highly decorated record in the military, but you too, sir, are talking to a veteran.
I didn't say anything about my highly decorated.
May not be highly decorated.
I'm not, mine is not highly decorated.
You've had your
Hang on,
time.
Chris. We're gonna
You've
talk
had your
one at a
time to
time.
talk. Let me talk. I sat right here and listened to what you had to say. Now let's hear my side of the story. After the meeting, I was standing by the exit, going into the conference rooms. I was shaking everybody's hand that would shake my hand to show respect to the townspeople for taking time out of their busy schedule to come in and talk about issues and also vote. Okay? Every one of them, I shook their hand. If they don't want to shake my hand, they walk by. I can give you names of people that didn't shake my hand, not all of them, because I don't care. It's a matter of respect. When I shook your hand, I looked right at you, Chris, and I said, Chris, this is nothing personal. You got beat on this one. Next time you may have better luck, and I hope we're still friends. I said that,
No,
okay?
you did not.
Now let me finish. I said, but what is really disheartening to me is the name calling that you called me and the rest of the Board of Selectmen on social media. You called us a bunch of a-holes,
Yep.
okay? And that is personal, and I looked right at you and I said, and that hurt, and all you did was make crying sounds like I was a baby. So I let it go. After that, I had somebody walk up to me and say, a police officer shouldn't have a gun in a public meeting. And I said, this is America, there's freedom, right to bear arms, and that is an officer of the law, and that's the way it is. That is what happened, okay? Now, you can write whatever you want in there. It's mine. It's going to be your word against mine, but I'm going to tell you something right now. That complaint and what you said, you're questioning my integrity, my credibility,
Yep,
and in front of the townspeople.
I sure
You
am.
could possibly be hurting my business right now, and I'm going to ask you very kindly to cease and desist anything that you're doing, because I will take everything in my power, in my personal power, to make sure you're held accountable for it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You have threatened me so many
I am
times.
not threatening
You
you.
have threatened me before with the
That-
same thing.
That is not a threat.
No, that is a threat.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
I have told you to cease and desist
Yeah.
on any bad talk about me. I can only speak for me, okay, because I seem to be on trial right now, and I don't mind that. That's perfectly fine, and that's your right to lodge a complaint. But when you start saying that I said things that I didn't, Chris, and when you start putting it down on paper and questioning my credibility, I'm going to tell you what will happen. I'm not threatening you. You should never feel threatened by me, because you and I have been on pretty good terms up until now. Now, with that said, I will not resign from the Board of Selectmen. You will have to drag me out of here. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I will too. And I will too.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see where it lands.
Yep.
Because quite frankly, you are in the minority, and the majority of this town is getting damn sick and tired of your crap.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I hear.
You've been told.
Mhm.
And I'm done. Now, if this Board of Selectmen wants to do something
I-
with this,
Oh,
I respect that.
Wait a minute.
That's
You're
enough.
raising your
That's
voice
enough.
at me.
Enough.
I
Sit
you're
down.
raising
Sit
your
down.
voice
We're
at
done.
me.
Sit
I
down.
should
Sit
ask,
down.
call
Sit
Bob
down.
and ask you to be removed.
Sit down. Thank you. Thank you. We got your letter, we heard both sides, we're done, okay? Anybody else have any public comments? If not, let's proceed.
All set? Someone else? Alright, budget committee schedule.
You guys all have the.
All these are reviewing minutes. I miss it every time.
We sent the emails to
I'll do the minutes.
all the time.
Make a motion, we accept them as written.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Unanimous? Alright, budget committee schedule. Committee schedule is listed on that sheet there, you guys have all seen it in your email also. We have it in here.
The last thing that we just got, the schedule.
Oh, right on, right up there, right. Right, yes, there.
Is this the revised one?
Though it's been revised again since that, because there were a few things in the front on the first one that got moved.
Right. This isn't the one that you redid.
I haven't
Last
retyped anything
Okay.
from that. Basically, everything from that first week is moved past.
Okay.
Are you the liaison to the budget committee?
Yeah.
Next Wednesday, I'm assuming we moved a bunch of things to Wednesday.
That's the only one that.
Can we,
Between the
right,
members had to do that.
but can we, or can you ask the budget committee if they could move mine to the end? I have a doctor's appointment at 4:40, my pre-op appointment.
Yep.
So I don't wanna cut it too close and have them sit around.
The end of the 18th, just the end of the
Yeah,
meeting.
just the end of the meeting, instead of putting me first.
That was the plan anyway.
Okay.
Have you come in at 7 or 7:30.
Okay.
I don't remember what it.
Alright,
So what, Sherry, what is on the agenda for tonight?
All
It
of
is-
that first week,
Pretty much everything.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
parks and trails and rec, couldn't be ready for last week, so we punted them, forward, and I guess I don't know about the other one.
Animal control we did do last week.
We're waiting for money, yeah.
That is not changing.
Yeah,
That is
that's what we
not
put on the
changing.
sheet.
Okay, but we didn't,
Okay.
Animal control was done?
No, because it got one number. That's the same. Yeah, we got it at four.
Done.
Town improvement was done, right?
I'm pretty proud of it.
Just so you know, and Sherry and I were talking yesterday, all the social service letters went out yesterday. There's quite a few, anyone who was in that folder got a letter, most everybody. In the budget committee, social service folder.
Yeah, I don't know if that's all people we did those two last year or not.
I kinda double checked it, but if there's any more, and I wrote a list of who we sent them to. So if we needed to send more, we do have some more letters.
Any more questions? IFW letter? This is all of them, right?
There was just two, yeah, there was the letter to Leon with the invoice, the bill for the legal fees, and then, he had asked us to send a letter to Chandler Woodcock,
Yep.
thanking him for the boat launch, so.
Good. There's a letter here to Terry Hayes. Thank you for your recent donation, $75, what we pay to moderate the recreation department. Money be going to the baseball and softball fund, greatly appreciated. And thank you for a great job moderating the special town meeting. Just jot it off the side of the prior schedule.
Does that look acceptable to everyone?
Meeting said you guys pick the time frame, right?
And I put down barring any unforeseen items, this prior should be out by the second week of the month.
Basically quarterly.
Yep, basically quarterly. July will recap the election, October will preview anything wintery. January, April will, talk about the new meeting, the town meeting, and January will be January.
That's good.
copy of those dates?
Absolutely.
Of the what?
The dates,
Well,
The
Prior
Friday,
the prior dates.
Yeah.
it's just the month.
33 months.
So when do you need this? You don't have like a week, like you're gonna do it the first week, second week, third week?
It's gonna go out by the second week.
Should go out
If
by
I
the
can
second
have
week.
it by the middle of the month before,
Well, the first of the month.
Or the first of
I'd
the-
say if you had it by the first of the
Yeah,
month.
first
you
of the
could do
month.
it.
Okay, alright.
if you know there's something coming and you say, okay, there's something coming, I don't have all the information, leave me space,
Okay.
then I know to,
You want a copy, Peter?
Nope, I'm all set. It's my secretary.
you can whack and share.
She is. It says so
Alright.
on the shirt, right?
Alright, Lindsay Eisen?
Yep.
Canton Information Systems for archiving.
Thank you for inviting me and allowing me to speak here tonight. A few months back, Kathy and I had talked about what my company can offer, and I come up a couple of weeks ago and put together a proposal. And essentially what we recommend for the town is to address the situation that you see here before you, which is not unique in cities and towns throughout New England, as a matter of fact. Our company has specialized in doing this kind of work for 40 years. I've been in the business for 40 years myself, so when I come in and see something like this, I know it's something that we can address and help you with. We specialize in dealing with communities and financial institutions in assisting by going through the records, comparing them to state regulations, making sure you're not keeping what you're not supposed to be keeping, that you do keep what you are supposed to keep. We also sort through and sift through in case we come across things that are historical nature that may not be covered by any kind of retention schedule, because that quite frankly happens quite a bit too. Things that, well, for an example, I was in New Hampshire looking through some of their records, and I found muster books from the Civil War, not covered by any retention schedule. It's simply not something the state has any interest in, but recognizing it for what it was historically significant to the town. That's where our expertise comes in. This is all that our company does, is work with files and records. I've delivered a proposal to Kathy for us to come in and assess just exactly what your town needs for records retention services. That would be a 2 or 3 day study where the president of our company would actually come up and inventory all of your old records. These here, whatever you see here, and there are also some of the historical society that I believe. It also includes going there. At the end of the assessment, we would produce a report that would itemize all of these records. Then we would do a quick comparison against the state regulations to give you a feel for what we feel would be the outcome of what our actual labor would be, which would be in that report, including labor, supplies, and equipment, to give you a proper archiving system. I don't know if anybody here is a member of Oxford Federal Credit Union right up the street. They have this system in their basement. It's something that's already up and running. Mechanic Savings down in Lewiston has the system already up and running. It's something we're familiar with and that we're very capable of doing, and we'd love the opportunity to do it for your town. And if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them for you now if you'd like. Or if you want me to come back at some other time to address it, I'd be certainly willing to do that too. But I don't want to take up too much of your time, so that's my presentation.
Yeah, Russ and I didn't get a chance to look through it.
yeah, I would say I know that our files are,
You can
And I know
clearly
there's
see
a lot of
what's
them.
here, and this was just in the attic.
That's what we're doing.
I guess I know from my work on the dam that it's impossible to find. And I guess just as an interesting historical story, I have seen and I have bought town records of the town of Canton on eBay, from the 1800s. So I think we do have a responsibility to, our town and our forebears to find out what the heck we got and to deal with it responsibly. I know it's just scattered all over the place now, so and it's a good time people need it.
I'd like to see it stored a little better than it was. Some of the boxes got crushed because they were stacked on top of each other upstairs. And nice to get them.
We have boxes labeled stuff.
Something it isn't something that has to be done all at once.
That's right.
They can do it incrementally or allow.
We will work with the town, but you bring up good points. These are all things that we specialize in doing, making sure that they're not stacked improperly. Not only because the boxes get crushed, but you also create a situation that is ergonomically not safe for your employees. But keeping things beyond the period that they're required. And there's a host of examples like accounts payable and things like that. Also means that if you ever get a request for that information, because you have it, you must produce it. Even if you don't know where it is, you have to go through and find it unless you can prove that you don't have the record any longer. Our system is designed to safeguard you against all of those potential problems in the future. Because once you do organize your records and create a system for you, the system will tell you what can be destroyed, when it can be destroyed, and once you've destroyed it, it'll record that fact. So if someone comes looking for it in the future, you can simply say, well, I have a certificate of destruction that proves I destroyed it on such and such a date per state guidelines. And we make sure everything is to the state of Maine guidelines. If we find anything in your archives that aren't covered under state archives, what we do at that point is we discuss it with attorneys. We'll talk to the state, the Secretary of State's office or Attorney General's office to see if there's recommendations that they make. If they don't, then we'll look at best business practice and court areas for you that makes sense and safeguard you, that makes sense and safeguard you against the future. Because we don't want to leave you in the lurch like that. And once the system is up and running and your staff is fully trained, it's a turnkey system. There's no obligation to employ us any longer, but we do offer a service. We'll come back maybe once a year, once every couple of years, and audit you to make sure that nothing's changed and the system hasn't fallen out of true. Or if you need other assistance, things like microfilming and stuff like that, we do all that as well. So it's not something that we just leave and drop on you.
Is this a computer-based system, or how does that?
The actual inventory control system is database driven, but it's just a standard Windows PC. We populate all the fields for you, including the town's customer retention schedule and your inventory. We put everything in there for you, and it's all Windows driven with a standard interface, so it's just point and click. And we build that as part of the process.
And I read through your thing. This is the first step is basically just an inventory to find out.
It's the consulting step, the analysis, and that's where Pat, the president of our company, she actually comes in. The first part of the process is she'll sit down with Kathy and any other staff and interview you to find out what are your procedures right now? What are you using to control these records? How do they get in there? How do they get out of there? Once she has that information, then she actually dives into the physical inventory to try to create, maybe not a box by box, but a fairly thorough inventory of everything in there. Because that's what we need to know in order to send our staff back up, to actually go through the boxes, label them properly, identify what needs to be kept, identify if there are any records that need to be protected. Sometimes there are records in there that should not be in the standard archives, whether they're personnel records or something that's extremely confidential or personal in nature. They should be isolated and protected. We identify all those issues and make sure that we address them as part of the process. And then the end result is a complete system. I believe there's a brochure in there that shows you what the system looks like with all the training necessary to run it and maintain it.
Now, looking long-term down the road, we could make these electronic copies so you could be searchable. Is that?
There are certain records that we do recommend, if in a going forward environment, to maybe scan them at the point of creation, because they're not long-term enough to warrant any kind of specialized disaster recovery steps or microfilming or anything like that. Day-to-day records, we consider them. Anything permanent in nature, we don't recommend making digital unless access is really truly a key issue. The reason for that is right now there are no digital mediums which satisfy permanence. Something you scan today, I mean, I have 3.5-inch floppies at home. I can't read them.
Right.
5.25-inch floppies. If I could read them, there's no guarantee that the software I'm using is going to understand the formats of the documents they're in. So anything long-term and permanent, we look to other solutions. The day-to-day records, things that you keep for 7 years or less, if you start to create digital copies of it, what we do then is when we modify the database system to reflect that there's digital records now, where they're being stored and when they should be checked. Try to instruction. So we try to incorporate and bridge both worlds.
Right. Yes, sir.
You ask, some people can ask how important is this, how often do we get requests? Like Lindsay says, if we have a document here, we have to produce it. If it's something that's supposed to be in our archives, it's gotta be there. So we have to produce it in a certain amount of time. We've had several requests this year. Recently, last week we had a request from someone that wanted historical information on the Edmund Road. And he says, that's something you have to have in your archives. It's got to be there. So I called Lisa Dupree on Alden Hill. She come over and Elise, yeah, and she came over and got me what she thought was the documents the gentleman was requesting. And I said, well, these look like they've already been put in order, and it's actually the genealogist that was here this summer, put them in order for us.
We also had a request for a birth certificate from 1832.
Yeah.
We couldn't get it, we couldn't get to it.
So, there is a demand for those old records, so.
And we have them, we just can't access them.
Any questions?
Thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Thank you, you too. Enjoy your vacation.
I'm looking forward to it. Did you go to Da Vinci?
I didn't have time to, I just came straight up, so maybe on the way back to the Castle stuff. So I'm staying there tonight. Huh?
Did you shoot a little?
No, I'm in that little gas
I think
station,
our
I
video
hotel
will
room
be
there,
selling
staying
it
there.
to me and talking several times with Lindsay as it's not all.
Stay up here.
Yeah, that's not one of the
Take care.
for you.
Okay, Golden Ridge Road, opening bids. The land is right now. Just want to double check before I open, we're good to open.
Golden Ridge, yeah, Golden Ridge is on.
Hey, you sure?
Alright.
That's your final answer.
It's not all.
Bid on Golden Ridge, Old Town Sand Pile Salt Shed, bid $3,500. The bid says $3,500, the check says $350.
Yes.
10% is bid, Joel, okay, yep. Carl Leaders,
Does it say Jewett Hill on the check?
yes, 10% bid, Jewett.
Or you just put the Golden Ridge?
Golden Ridge.
Wow. This bid on Golden Ridge, Old Town Sand Pile Salt Shed.
Did you bid on both?
$500, Carl Leaders,
I,
and then it says Town of Canton, $350, and then in the 10% bid, Jewett.
I think if you,
Probably in his Jewish.
I don't know how we're gonna get to it, but I know, I'm pretty sure he bid on both.
Probably his
I know he was interested in both. I know he was interested in both.
Could be a moot point.
You gotta go,
Somebody that bid $100,000.
you gotta go. You gotta go by what you can, not what you can.
Right. No, no, no.
Right.
Maynard and Sons Trucking, please accept my bid as follows, $5,025. And Farah, please take into consideration I already invested $1,600 for the survey to have it corrected.
Okay.
That's Golden Ridge.
Yeah. And then check says $502 for on Golden Ridge Road.
That's funny.
Oh, Golden Pond.
That's down the road.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's around the corner.
There is one, yeah.
Golden Pond.
Careful there.
I don't think Bob will let like anybody buying property.
back
It is.
Deep one.
Full of fish, though.
I, Timothy M. Mitchell, bid $5,000.
Golden Ridge.
This is I bid $5,000. Town of Canton, $500, nothing in the number.
Golden Ridge Avenue. 5,000.
Golden Ridge Avenue.
You need the right envelope.
Golden Ridge Road. Alright, so the high bid is $5,025 by Maynard. Second is Timmy Mitchell. Sorry, dude. Almost said Timmy Martin. $500 for 5,000, and Carl Leaders for 3,500.
Move we accept Maynard?
Second.
Any more discussion? All in favor for accepting Maynard Farrell for $5,025? That's unanimous. $6,475.99 for parcel of land R1 lot 34 plus or minus acres on Jewett Hill Road. Deposit $650 with a balance of $5,825.99 due upon the conveyance of the deed. If my bid is accepted, my bid is not accepted, the deposit of $650 will be returned to me. A.B.C. Bowling. $650 for bid deposit.
How many acres is that?
4 plus acres, plus or minus. Bid on 4 acres of Jewett Hill, Gerald McKenna. Jerry McKenna Logging and Excavation, $5,150. $550 check, land bid, total $51.50 deposit. Timothy Mitchell bid $7,700. Nothing in the memo. Nope, 7,000 with a $700
Oh,
deposit.
okay.
$7,000, $700 deposit on the check. Sorry about that. Jewett Hill Road bid $3,500. Carl Leaders. Check says $350 for Jewett.
Two of them could do it. So if you put his both together.
He ties Timmy.
Ties Timmy.
Tiebreaker goes to the guy with the
Wrestle it
lump
off.
Okay, so high bid is $7,000 from Timmy Mitchell.
Move we accept $7,000 from Mr. Mitchell.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Unanimous. Congratulations, Timmy. You're in favor? Congratulations and thank you. No. Okay, set date for annual town meeting. June 11th or 13th? June 11th is a Thursday.
And the ninth,
Yes.
I believe it's the ninth is, the school board is
Yeah.
doing their,
The actual vote will be on the
and that's the day you wanna hold your, first part of the town meeting. What day of the week is it?
June 11th is a Thursday and June 13th is Saturday.
just looking to see if we want it either way.
Straw poll?
Doesn't matter to me, either way.
That was a thought process. The weeknights had better. We had the last special town meeting, we had about 75 people.
Election on the ninth.
August.
I was gonna say, it'll be cold, but
When they got a day off, then they could come back.
Yeah, it's gonna be a week after that, pretty much.
Yeah.
A week after that. I think,
At least.
if it is, I think it's the end of the week after, it's not the first for that last week.
Second week might seem to work.
Is that a motion? Sure. Motion for June 9th?
No,
No,
I think ninth and 11th. Ninth we vote and 11th.
The voting day on the ninth, town meeting on the 11th.
At
The motion is what?
And 6:30.
one year motion again?
is it gonna be held at the new town office or the fire station?
Fire station.
The
Probably
voting,
the fire station.
the
Okay.
voting will be held in
Just curious, I
Jackson.
didn't
Yeah.
know how
I don't
the
think
layout
it'll
was.
quite
We have to
be
have
there yet.
phone- we won't have phone.
You guys hear that? Say that again?
Because we will have moved and we will not have phone and internet here, the voting will be held in the back of the new town office. It won't be finished, but
We'll
be okay for voting.
It'll be okay for voting, and then at the fire station for the town meeting.
Just as long as I know, yeah, that's fine.
What time?
It's 6:30 last night.
And the polls are 8 to 8.
This is gone, this isn't here anymore.
Polls are 8 to 8.
I'm not gonna say about it.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
We tried.
All right, so we have a motion, we have a second, I'll second. Any more discussion? All in favor? Yeah.
Okay, so on that note, before we go on to the next thing, with the June 11th meeting, that means a few other dates when you have your calendar out before you put it back. Just saying. That means that our warrant has to be posted June 3rd.
She's gone.
Yeah, can you guys, can you hear?
It means warrants posted June 3rd. It means we need to have a public hearing on the 28th at our regular selectmen's meeting. It actually comes out on a perfect night, because we'll be here anyways, so we can just. Yep, of May 28th.
What's the public hearing topics?
The public hearing that night is for only the first stuff that is voted on at polls.
Anything on the ballot.
Is anything that's on the written ballot for that public hearing.
Yep.
Those meetings will be here,
Those meetings
No.
will not be here.
they'll be in the new town
They
office.
will be. What's that
To be determined.
To be determined.
Yeah, will be announced when we.
Oh, lunch.
Yeah,
Depends if it's
I'll
raining
vote
or
on.
not.
Okay, I just,
I'd like to think they'll be over there.
The vote launch.
over there,
In
meaning,
the new office is where I'd like to
Gazebo
have
be
them,
built
but
there?
we'll see
Okay.
where we're at, I
You
guess.
can always pitch it then.
So like I say, public hearing the 28th at our regular selectmen's meeting. The, that public hearing will be posted on the 21st. Any articles to go on the secret ballot must be done and turned into the office April 23rd. Meet the 45-day limit. Or window.
And that's the same day that nomination papers need to be turned in by.
That's in special things, right?
Yeah.
That's anything.
Anything that's going to be done on the written ballot has to be done before the 23rd. Yes. 23rd of April.
Alright.
No, that's all I had to know.
so, just an FYI to you guys, if you're gonna have a meeting in the fire station on the 11th, we'll be meeting on the 10th to
You
clean.
clean out? I should be able to
Hint,
be there.
Hint, hint.
Should be able to be there.
Dude.
Russ will be there voting on.
I was gonna say, Russ, you'll be a month early, but the brooms are in the back. We'd probably be, you'll probably be able to use them by then.
Okay, Mr. Timberlake, you're up next.
Well, I appreciate it.
Agenda request form seeking permission to tap maple trees at town-owned property at Ken Wing's
Yes,
former property.
yes, and I apologize, I didn't get to you folks in time, but, withdrawing that request. I'm in over my head as it is, so. 3 more buckets isn't gonna matter. So,
Okay.
wrap it up, thank you.
It could make or break it.
It could break me.
How many buckets you got out?
What's that?
How many buckets you got out?
70.
How many?
70.
That's 3 more.
Just 3 more.
What are you doing in the afternoon?
Right, so thank you.
See,
70?
Max got, he's got 100 more.
Well, there's 3 more for you.
There's 3 more.
Can I take over? Mike?
Just change the name on the request form.
I got your name now.
Mac Ray, Mike Timberlake's close.
Yeah. All right, while we're at, with Mike, he's volunteered for the budget committee and budget committee.
No, sir.
I'd like to make a motion to go ahead and appoint Mike to the planning board.
For how many years?
Well, that was, I'm sorry, may I talk?
You may,
We get a second, then you can.
Okay. I'll second. So, just out of curiosity, what is going for that term?
usual term is 3 years.
I think we gotta talk about this.
Question is, we need to figure out,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just like your 3 buckets.
No, for no other reason than I'm just curious. So,
Scott, you got any guidance for us?
It would be a vacant, it's the one that is vacant, it's 3 years.
So it'd be another 2 years.
It'd be 2 years at this point.
Because 1 year's already gone by with it being vacant.
Yeah.
So it'll be 2 years.
2 years and a couple months.
2 years plus. The
Good?
rest of this year.
And that was good either way, I just was curious.
Alright,
So it'll get reelected in 17.
so 2 years, term is to expire on,
Be June
Thirtieth.
17.
okay, in favor, all in favor? Opposed? It's unanimous.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Next one, removing Amber Spear from the rec committee, apparently she's moved to Rumford.
Yeah, I talked to, Becky and, Amber, moved, so she wanted to be, let off the committee, and then our next item will be someone to, replace her, but first action is to, remove her since she's, out of town, and wanted to,
So she notified you.
yeah, or notify Becky.
Alright, do we have to have a motion to accept the resignation? We do?
No, you don't.
Because
Because
Swear
it's
in.
a moot point, you can do it if you want, you don't have to. If you don't do it, then that's because she's gonna stay, right?
Right.
She's gone. A moot point.
Alright, add Emily Barras to the rec committee.
Yeah, that's the rec committee, went out, and basically scoured for members and talked to Emily, and Emily's, willing to, serve, so, I'll make the motion that we, appoint Emily to, I guess technically we're appointing her to fill out, Amber's term.
Now we appoint,
Second.
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 We changed that to an appointed position,
It's
still a term.
It's actually not.
Not a term.
Well, it's actually not before you finish it, because the vote that was done at town meeting to do it was a 1 year. The way the article was written, it was a 1 year deal,
Okay.
which means it falls back to the ordinance, which means there is different terms. And they're all different lengths.
Okay, so Amber's was for a year.
We don't need.
Okay. Do we?
I've yet to see a ordinance on the, rec committee.
That's one we just found tonight.
Yeah, I
That's
haven't
one we
seen it.
just, yeah, it's one we just found.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Well,
You get a couple ordinances there that are not in this office, but they're in other people's computer in town, so, I mean, I'm really bewildered.
do you know whose computer they're in?
Somebody,
Whoever knows, speak up, because we gotta ask them for it.
yeah,
the problem is we
It's in a
have,
book.
yes, but some of those are in the book, some of them aren't in the, this is the part of the problem we're having, is we're finding ordinances in boxes. And 3 copies of one and none of another.
some
Well, I guess
dated,
what I would
some are not.
I guess what I would recommend is we appoint her, and we find out as quickly as we can what the term is, and we keep the rec committee going, so she can meet, she can vote.
I believe it's a 1 year appointment, I believe that's what we've done
Let's do
for
it
all
for
the
a year,
others.
and then if we've made a mistake, we can reappoint her for another year.
Right.
That's
Well,
it.
actually, I believe all the rec committee members are in substantial confusion about what their terms are.
I don't
Right.
think I can do it.
So,
Because there's a few 3 years, a few 2 years, a few
Yeah,
1
the way
year.
that-
But that was
So
when
it's
they
been
made,
that way.
and then we went from elected
Before
to
they went
appointed.
appointed.
Right, but the appointment was only for 1 year.
Correct.
Then it falls back to the ordinance, which
Yeah.
would put it back to a few for 3, a few for 2, a few for
3
1.
members for 3 years,
Right.
2 members for 2 years, 2 members for 1 year.
Right.
Is the way it's written.
Right.
Like I say, we just found it hard.
Well, for purposes of Emily, I guess I'll amend my motion to appoint her for the rest of this year, because then we're gonna have to redo them all at this next coming town meeting, right, since we're reverting to the ordinance.
My recommendation is this ordinance needs to go, get updated and go from the town meeting.
Alright, so we're getting a little bit of a mess here with, instead of amending it, could we vote down the first one, and then 30th, 2015.
Second motion.
Any discussion? It's right? Just, and then we can, but we'll keep the rec committee planning and going. Okay, all in favor? Opposed?
And while we're sort of on that, they did draft a new proposal, because we never went with the thing, but I have a copy of it now. I'll send it to Scott and we'll get it on the agenda for next time. Move that way.
Okay. Donna Hebert, Budget Committee. Donna came in to the last Budget Committee meeting, said, I heard you need volunteers. We said, yes. She said, I'd like to volunteer. And she sat through the meeting. Everybody know Donna? Okay.
What term is she doing?
That was gonna be my question, but we need a motion in a second.
Well, we have to make them.
We never actually made a motion yet.
So we need to know what term is before we make a motion. So that's all we can.
Well, we had 2 open spots that we're not filling. Because the ordinance says 9 positions,
And they're all 3-year terms,
and there's,
so it would be the same, it would be 2 and 3 years, 3 months, so 2017.
June 30th, 2017. All right.
And that, motion we appoint Don Hebert to, the remaining 3-year term, on budget, so 2017 will be done.
All in favor? Opposed? All right, Chris, I don't want to argue with you. I want to give you one last chance. You know, you and I have issues. We should keep that separate from the town. You're very good on the budget committee, okay?
No, I want nothing to do with your administration.
Okay, thank you. We need to get 2 more people. Right?
What about
This will be 7. Yeah.
okay.
Whatever happened with Brad Seeker Jr.? Is he still around? Because he was interested a couple of years ago.
He was an alternate a couple years ago.
But
Right.
we never followed through, we contacted him.
Okay, right.
He's going next week.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Is it Bullock going?
What's that?
Bullock?
Forrest one.
He is too, okay. Because I kept bugging him every once in a while.
Yeah, I think we can get him to do it. He's planning on going to the one next week. So
Yeah. It's just been rubber.
Very persuasive.
no,
Every time he asks me a question, I say, oh, you are gonna be on the budget committee, right?
All right, good. Hartford Fire contract.
I apologize, I wasn't aware that was a yearly thing that had to be sent to the, don't shake your head, dude.
Okay.
Not back
No, I'm
there.
shaking it up like this. Oh, him?
No, I'm shaking my head.
Oh.
Until, what's his name, told me that, told me it had to be a yearly thing, it's usually set in July, I apologize.
We sent them one last July.
I didn't send it. Who's we?
They sent us.
I got asked, I remember what to send them, and I said it was the same thing with a 2% increase.
That's what I asked him a couple weeks ago.
I swear I asked that a year ago when I said the same thing.
I know we talked about it.
I'll take some responsibility for that because I knew it.
Yeah,
And I
you
didn't
and I
communicate it.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
So they never got the contract for this fiscal year, 14-15.
Not yet, that's what they're doing now.
Have they paid?
It's usually,
No.
no, they won't pay until they get a contract.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah. I got 2015 and 16 to sign too, you wanna do it now?
Yeah, because usually they pay like within the first month.
They pay within the first couple of weeks.
Yeah, usually as
So,
soon as it's appropriated. they
That's
do
gonna be a
it.
big boost for the reserves, 32 grand.
that should be with the 2% increase.
So that was the prior year
Plus the 2%, yep.
At 25, the number.
Yes.
Yeah, prior year.
This is 15, 16.
You gonna send that one to Miss Early?
No,
Good.
We'll just read that.
no, but I wanna have it.
July 1, you're gonna be walking in the door.
I'm gonna give it a thing.
You're thinking about being so close.
You know something? They have that. I know they have that because they asked me for that before they did their budget for this fiscal year. So they have a copy of that. They might not have the actual contract, but they know the figures.
You are right, because they,
I know we did
that
the
fell
math.
into the email that we just
I
had
know,
last week
yeah.
asking for the.
She knows the numbers, but they're not releasing the money, that's what
I swear
I
we
made
signed the
concern.
contract
till
and
it's
sent
signed.
it to them.
Was that the year before though?
Nope,
No?
because we did that, we do them right
I'd
at
have to go
the,
back and look, I don't remember.
regardless,
Maybe
it'll
there's
get taken
different-
care of, at least the money's there,
Who
they
si- who who
appropriate.
types them? Who sent it?
I don't know who sent it. I wasn't the
It was done
office
through the office,
liaison.
so much before you thought.
Chief, who comes up with, where do we come up with the 2% from?
That'd be me.
What was that based on?
Just our budgets increase every year, so
Is that
we
what-
just worked that in the negotiation when we went from the $7,500 to what they're paying now.
So is that what our costs have been increasing at about 2%?
More than that, but so far,
Well, is there much more than that?
well, we'd have to
Remember,
negotiate.
well, remember, we told them that we would look at our budget and we would try to stay within that.
Yep.
But we should talk to them, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, we have to bring it up, yeah. If we're gonna increase in the 15-16 fiscal year more than 2%, we will need to approach them prior to, so we can go to some meetings and,
The budget.
I think they start their budget process the end of this month,
yeah.
31st, I think.
Right.
What Leanne told me.
So they're gonna be looking for numbers for that. But luckily, my budget will be presented next week, so we'll see.
Can I propose that, I think we ought to send the current fiscal year contract out ASAP,
Yes.
so we can fill. But,
I wouldn't sign the next one.
well, why don't we defer the next one at least until after the next budget
Yep.
committee meeting and make sure we're all hunky-dory with the 2%. And if it looks good, then we
I-
send it.
Yeah, I can tell you you're gonna be. There's no increase. So,
But still, no harm waiting,
nope, absolutely not.
waiting a week and-
Come on,
Okay.
Okay, guys, what's your pleasure on the current fiscal year?
What's the one I just sent it? Sign as written, sign it and send it.
No discussion, all in favor? Opposed? Unanimous? Right, abatement for Susan Haynes. This is the property that we just sold to Penny. The previous owner, we have to abate their Scotty wants to give us a little more on that.
What's that?
The abatement for Haynes.
We got, I think the tax bills, you got them right there, they go back to 2006. In 2008, the town owned the property, however, the correct forms were not sent out. But the town continued to tax them and lien them. So we had to release, what, 7 or 8 liens that came right out of our pocket. I mean, we billed them, we billed the town, they didn't pay. Actually, that was a joke, that we billed Susan, we, continued to bill Susan Haynes and continued to lien the property, so. We got all the discharges back, all we had to do was cut a quick claim deed, to whoever it was. But that's what the dollar amount is that needs to be abated.
5,000 $5,484.30. Okay. Need a motion?
Make motion to abate whatever that
Five
fee
thousand
was.
four hundred eighty-four dollars and 30 cents.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second.
Any more discussion? All in favor? Opposed?
Any signatures on it?
Okay, Dennis Barreau abatement.
That was Paul's screw up, not mine.
Okay.
Yeah. He owns the property there where Dwight White has a trailer, down here right on the Hartford Canton line, on the left, right after George Spear. And, Dwight got a bill for the trailer and so did Dennis. Dennis don't own the trailer, so that was a error on Paul's part. He pointed that out to us last Wednesday, and he was here.
So it's tax abatement.
Double taxation.
So we should bill Paul for this up.
He's entitled to one extension for what, 10 years?
But
He's over
if you
that.
recall, we did a bunch of them last year, double
Yeah,
effect.
Oh, Paul?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he's getting,
So it's an abatement for $19,405 in valuation, which is $441.47
Right.
in tax law.
Right.
An apology on the bottom.
We built it twice.
Yes. We doubled it. Okay. Shoot. Motion.
Make a motion that we abate the property for Dennis Morrow for $441.47. Second.
Any more discussion? All in favor? Unanimous? Nomination papers available starting Saturday for 1 selectman, 5 budget committee members, and 1 planning board member.
that's actually 4 budget committee members now.
Scratch
We
that.
just appointed one.
4 budget committee. But we just lost.
Right, but his term was up in June anyways. But we already found it in here.
Did you have a question?
No, I
Right,
don't.
okay. They're available Saturday, no less than 25 signatures, no more than 100, and they need to be turned in by April 23rd.
Did you just fill that planning board seat with Mike, or did you?
No.
there too?
This
So
is,
there's one expired.
Gotcha.
Okay. Letter to the Lake Association.
That's, Gary came in, gave me a check for, I think it was $202.
$2.02.
$202.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's the last money that we'll receive from the association, he said, so.
So do we just not do
You gotta sign it, so, sign the letter so I can send it back. I think it says selectman there, doesn't it?
Yep. Letter from Mexico Selectman, I'll read it. February 10th. This is to Superintendent Craig King and the school board members. Dear Mr. King et al. At our recent selectmen's meeting, we discussed at length the annual RSU 10 school budget, and in an attempt to reduce our taxes, we have made a motion that has been recorded as follows. Motion by Reggie Arsenal, seconded by Albert Neal, to have the town of Mexico send a letter to RSU 10 recommending the school budget be decreased by 10%. To also have the town of Mexico send a letter to all other towns asking them to send a letter to RSU 10 recommending the school budget be decreased by 10%. Voted unanimously and approved.
Wow.
Kind of education thing, so.
There was a response.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if I could add, there was a response from the,
From the superintendent.
superintendent on what 10% would do. You had that, didn't you?
No. I made a phone call.
We have
We have it somewhere, but anyways,
I,
The box.
it would pretty much decimate the school system.
If you take, I can tell you what it does.
Go ahead.
And about, if you took another 10% off it, last year they cut 41 positions roughly, somewhere in that range. 40 something positions last year. What they're saying could happen if they cut 10% more, you're looking at 92 positions.
Additional?
Yes.
Additional cuts.
That was one of the papers that was out there.
They have $35 million budget, right?
Exactly.
So,
35 there, it's actually 36, I would think.
I know this letter isn't addressed to me, but, you know, I think instead of asking the school boards to keep cutting their budget, why don't they turn this around and ask Augusta and Washington for more money towards the schools? I mean, we can send billions of dollars overseas a day, but we have a hard time funding our education system. My opinion, they've dumbed it down enough. Why continue to cut? Why don't they start throwing more money at it? Just my opinion.
My personal feeling on the letter, I would like us to write a letter saying we would prefer them not cut 10% out of it. That's my opinion. I don't know what the rest of the board feels, but if they cut 10% more out of the budget, our children's education suffers. It goes further down the drain. They don't have anything now. What more are we going to
We need some transparency here. Where do you work?
I work at RSU.
You work at RSU 10?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
get that out there.
Yeah.
You work at RSU 10, but you're entitled to your opinion,
Yeah.
okay?
Well, school meetings are coming out.
Yeah, there's a reorganizational meeting at Dearborn on Monday at 6:30, I think it is, yeah.
Yep.
I get lost. Sort of echoing this out. I think the real problem is, state of Maine made a deal saying the way that they were gonna fund education, and they have never ever lived up to their deal.
55.
Yeah, that's never happened.
Doesn't look like it's going back that
Yeah,
way. The next
it's
proposal
not gonna
is-
happen, you know.
Looks like it's
Gonna
going
happen,
further.
much less likely.
What's the budget, is it the budget increase next year?
Okay, so that's what I'm doing.
It probably is gonna increase. I mean, really, the price of anything go down, so it's gonna increase some. I mean, it's gonna increase in some areas and decrease in some areas. But,
And they haven't actually released what their, yeah.
yeah.
They've
No,
started,
they don't know.
the department proposals have gone through, I believe, but they haven't actually got to compiling it yet.
It's too bad the Air Force didn't have to have bake sales for their bombs.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Did you get that one, Terry? That was a
Too bad the Air Force didn't have to have bake sales to buy their bombs, like we do have to have sales and pie sales so the
So the kids can be ready.
kids can buy paper and not the teachers up there. That's what they do, teachers buy supplies, right out of their pocket.
And the other thing I have to say is, you know, with complete respect for this board of selectmen, when you ask another entity to cut their budget by 10% and just say, you gotta cut your budget by 10% and walk away, that's really no better than bureaucracy that basically doesn't manage, okay? You just gotta go cut it, and I don't care where you cut it, I just don't wanna take the fall for the increases. Again, that's with respect to this committee, with this selectmen. But what this is the root cause right here of argument. You know, when we go to budget committee meetings, I mean, I don't know about you, when you're at the budget committee meeting, or last year when you were there, you get a little pit in your stomach, because you gotta go talk about money that you have to raise, and then you always got in the back of your mind that, oh my God, the school's gonna go up, and then all of a sudden I'm pointing at Scotty because, you know, he needs the money that he needs, and he's pointing at me because I need the money that I need, when we're all trying to accomplish something, and it causes a lot of infight. So I think that I echo what Mac and Scotty say, maybe what we need to do as a River Valley is get our representatives, get them in the room, they already are, we have pretty good representation, and just say, we gotta have something done here. You know, the administration in Augusta tries very hard with taxes and things within to make ends meet, but everybody's got issues, and to turn around and say to a school, you know what, you need to cut 10%, and that's the way it is, it's unfair. It's not fair. Now you go in and you say, maybe you can cut this, maybe you can increase this, but it's kind of unfair to say that and then just walk away. So I don't support something like that. I support efficiencies and working with them to gain those efficiencies, but I wouldn't want that done to me.
Well, I think it's unfair for that board to go after, it's their job board that's their job, is to work on the school budget, and it's the school board's job to work on figuring their cuts and stuff. So for them to try to force the school board down, kinda
Again,
defeats the school
I
board's
don't look at
purpose
this as anybody going after anybody.
Oh, I'm not saying it is,
I
I'm
look
just
at
saying.
this as desperation. My God, things are getting high, people can't pay their taxes, and all we're doing is jacking the prices up again. And that's a true thing, but where they're trying to do something good here and beneficial for their town, it's unfair. It's not fair.
Fine. This is basically no action.
Right.
Yeah, it's just
It's
an
an
information item.
I mean, the way I look at it, whether, good, bad, or indifferent at the time, so, quiz RC Canada budget is after they develop the budget.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, they haven't-
once they have budget, you can look at it.
Then we can look at it.
Yeah.
start
There is
going.
they posted some budget information, I believe, the last stuff they did is up on the website, I think.
In the news recently, some office of the state was flooded with postcards and letters from all of us. Not us personally, but, taxpayers asking for some action. Is that something we could maybe work on? I don't know who to contact, or what it should say, but if we can tell all our friends and families and get something like that, does it go to?
Commissioner of Education.
We can't fix roads.
You can't write the back of a contract?
Governor in his office.
Get enough letters,
Yeah.
put it back.
Talk to Representative Pickett.
Right, if you're gonna flood anybody's office, you flood your representatives. Not just yours, but all of them over there. In the few times I've been over there listening to committees and testifying in front of them and stuff, they wanna hear from you. They don't wanna, and when I went over to the revenue sharing thing, they don't want you to read from this, they want you to talk from the, from your heart, talk to them like you would your husband. No, maybe not that.
Wow. Don't throw punch the representatives, please.
But your representatives sincerely wanna hear from them. That's where you start.
I can vouch for that. Anytime I've been there, they're here to listen. They
Yeah.
ask a lot of questions. It's good.
Mr. Pickett seems to be pretty involved.
Yeah, he's doing all right.
Very willing to listen.
Anything else on that? Department head updates. Start today with that. Why not? We'll put up.
Oh, yeah. You're sitting in the front chair tonight.
The only one's available.
What you got, Chief?
Those of you on Facebook, our side-by-side that was donated by the auxiliary is now all set up for year-round rescue. We have a trailer for it, so we're mobile. We just signed up for a 3-month class. 4 seats available. There's 4 seats available. I'm available by members of my class for a purchase one class. We're going to try to do a test to get rescue based on a plan basis on a purchase one. Like I said, we've got 3 guys. In, we're waiting on 1 in, we're waiting on 1. So that size at the end of this, that size goes this for, it goes for almost 3 months. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and 7 weekends, and some weekends. But it's training, we get some dedicated people, and then we get some dedicated people, and then we get done with it. To do it, so get that, we're all in, BLS compliance, BLS compliance, the family guidelines needed, the highway guidelines needed, anyways, if any of you guys want to sit in on the side, it's exciting. It's fine. It's fine. We are compliant now. As far as names. We all got the training. Pretty much all set there. By the time the budget's all done, should be good this year. I have made a new, but all you guys will be there. I've made a revised schedule for our items, basically items in the department. Add new stuff, remove the old stuff. What needs to be replaced, what needs to be replaced, in the future, once that's replaced, you're good out till, you're late till 2027. 2027 is the next time we'll be looking at replacing it. Provided we don't have a catastrophic failure. I said, provided we don't have a catastrophic failure. Other than that, everything's going good. The trucks are all going through their cycle this week and next week for their yearly PMs, oil change, filters, grease jobs, inspections. So far, we haven't been told none of them passed, so we've done 3. We got 2 to go next week. Huh? One more thing?
You guys been partnering with the water district on a grant.
Oh, yes.
The paperwork was signed to an application for a grant to run new water lines from the intersection of Staples Hill Road to the fire department. We've got some water quality issues there in the new office, and we're cautiously optimistic that we're going to get some grant funds to do that. And one of the big pushes is the fire station when it was built. One of the reasons for that building was a shelter. And the water, although kind of passed the test, it still is not in our non-potable. You got to have water, and so I think that hopefully will propel us to the top. You never know, but we're trying, and the fire department and the water district partner. So this is one example of a grant that the fire station is going after. We need to make sure the townspeople know that. There's been a lot of questions about when you don't know anything. Grants are few and far between, especially for trucks, especially for all that. This type of stuff will help everyone.
We're going to be going for another grant. What's that? Probably that one too, but we've got another one that we're going to try to replace our thermal imaging camera. Years ago, many years ago, the Stephen King grant bought the current thermal imaging camera we have, which is outdated.
It was in the 80s.
Yeah, it was. So we're going to go after that for an updated version.
Yeah, it's about you about the Homeland Security one of those.
Yeah. There's a couple of them coming up that we're going to try to hit. So.
If he can buy jackets for the Bangor police, he ought to be able to do it.
That grant is very painless,
Yeah.
easy.
I talked to the Bangor chief.
The only problem is you get them, if you get it, you have to wait 5 years before you can get it again. But there's not a lot of the legal mumbo jumbo that you have to do with a regular grant. You basically write a letter asking what you want, why you need it, and then you get a letter with a check, and all they ask is you take a picture of what you buy and send it to them so they can have it forever.
Yep.
It's pretty easy. So. Yep.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
If you need any help with any grant or anything, let me know. I've been doing them for the TVs.
Stack of papers coming your way. It's endless.
I know. Grant writer.
Nice.
Not all that.
Anything else?
I'll get you one of these shirts that says "Great Writer." You know, that's nothing. I think we could fund that.
Highway department and the transfer station. How are you guys doing?
Highway.
Fall.
Well,
That catch up with maintenance now, pretty much.
And so
This week.
Getting caught up on sleep?
Yep.
Does your wife know your name?
Yeah, she does this week.
Okay.
She does this week.
It's almost like getting married again, right? Hi, how are you? You see me going by every day? That's it?
Pretty much.
Other than you kick butt. Very, very few complaints. Very few complaints. Went out today. I went out, you know, when I go to work, and there was a little bit of black ice here and there. And
Hard to stand.
lo and behold, 140 Canton, and the sand was where the black ice was. So that's great attention to detail. Very good attention to detail.
Because the state surely didn't
Mike?
get it done on 95.
No, they didn't. Mike.
Yeah. So I just wanna comment, you know, we've had a pretty tough year and the town of Canton, road crews have done a phenomenal job, so thanks.
Absolutely. With the exception of Snowbank that was the other way down there.
Nice club.
How about the budget?
Snowbank, occasional.
We're working on it.
You do great. How's the budget for this year, though?
Depends on when it stops snowing.
Are you over budget?
No,
You're not?
no.
It's on the line, it's on the line.
Not on the bottom line.
You still go up.
Bottom line, we're looking at the bottom line.
No,
Yeah,
that's
not the line items.
No, that's fine. That's
what
fine.
matters.
What do you get? What's the bottom line?
Huh?
What's the bottom line?
It's still black, so that's a good thing.
It's in the black.
Till it goes red.
$5.52.
About 26,000.
I was gonna say 24.
It's like that black and
Yeah. So provided the snow doesn't come and the grass doesn't grow, we're doing all right.
I'm telling you, man.
That's it,
I want Spencer to come and ask us, I just forgot to tell him, but when can we reapply or whatever for someone else?
yeah, I don't believe it
Position
has to
doesn't
be
need to reapply,
reapplied.
right? It's just,
No,
They still, this,
yours,
they're still
it's
open.
it's an on-call seasonal thing, so.
yeah, it's, the lasso's still around his waist. You just pull it along.
Company wants, but he needs.
No, he wants to. He likes working for Paul.
You like Paul working for us. All right, anything else? Transfer station?
Transfer station, I was up there inspecting that overhead door and working on getting some estimates to get that replaced, because it's not gonna make it very long,
Money in the budget?
possibly. Exploring a couple options, replacing it completely, and I was talking to Dave Bowen, he's not gonna use that side door, the old one-time door. So all we could do is swing that one over there, we just have to drop the opening in the building up there, cause it's.
Not like we gotta buy trim in there anymore, right?
Right.
We'll just shorten the door a little bit.
No,
This is wide?
shorten the opening.
This is wide?
Yeah, same width, it's just one panel
Just
short.
like calling them.
Perfect.
So,
Build panels,
he's gonna give us an
doors.
estimate to do that. Of course, included in that estimate, we have to board in the hole we take out now.
That'll help with heating anyway.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm working on that. Seems to be good.
if anyone complains about the flag at the flagpole in the transfer station, we know it's caught, we know it's torn,
We'll be down tomorrow.
the guy with the bucket truck.
So,
But we've had people
No.
comment, we've had a lot of people comment on the flag.
Ladder,
Okay. Well, either way, we've had a lot of people comment that there's no flag here,
right?
It's been damaged.
keeps catching on the roof and ripping. There's no sense putting one up if we're moving,
Right.
We're looking into flagpole prices that we
so
come in the office.
You don't need them.
it's
If
better
you move
to,
that flagpole out to the center of the parking lot, one flag for
That
both
works
buildings,
then?
that's, you don't need two flags down there.
That's fine.
it's better to respect it and not have it torn than it is to.
Right.
There's one upstairs at the station if you want to replace.
is there?
It's $3 dollars. I think, it's up on that file cabinet.
I don't know how big that one is up there, but.
Is there a flag at the, highway station now? Highway department now?
No, there's,
No.
We can work on that.
we don't use your bucket truck for this town, please. I'm sure. I'm like, he doesn't have insurance for that.
We could take, this pole down, take it down, and have it garage. They're not on the building. Do that.
Let's see what we can do with that one. We can share it.
No, I mean.
He's talking for the highway
The
department.
DOT lot.
When the
Oh,
DOT lot,
okay,
right?
I thought you meant the Ohio garage.
No, 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 no,
No, I
no,
mean
no, no,
The
the
new
DOT
old
lot,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, the new old.
No, cause if we take that flagpole and move it, it'll be kind of between
Yeah.
the two buildings.
Cover the campus.
Make it look good.
Alright, good. Office? Office? Yeah.
I had one thing about transfer station.
Yeah.
I had heard through the grapevine that we need to get our Volvo trailer out of it.
No, you don't.
We're all set to leave it there.
Yes, you are. Yes, sir.
Just waiting for,
Yep,
does it need to be dug out?
most likely. Okay. So all this can be given to the fire department as a donation to the town.
Just for clarification.
Yep. Office?
Office is going good. We've been working on getting some stuff ready for budget, getting stuff ready for town meeting. They've been going through, trying to get stuff pulled from downstairs, so we can look at what we have to move. Working on renovations with Dave, he's been going pretty hard at that in the last few days. He's doing really good in there, changing very fast. The electricians are finishing roughing today.
He get with you about data?
Yes. Data, the lines are all pulled and ready to go. Parts ordered, moving.
Installation will be there today or tomorrow.
Yeah, they're gonna hopefully get closed up
It was today?
very soon.
Something I don't know if it's being done, but we need a dedicated phone line for the, accessible voting system.
Working,
Here.
working on it.
Okay.
It's on the list for the selectman phone company.
Okay.
Cause it's actually a separate line here, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a different phone number altogether.
Yep.
So we don't pay for it, so we're gonna have to find out from the state
Okay.
how that works.
Okay.
I don't know if, have you already sent in the stuff to move the polling place?
Yep.
Okay. Do you have someone you can contact
Yeah.
over there to ask about that one?
Yeah.
Okay. If
Zoom
you
it,
ask
Zoom.
them, okay, if you ask them about, if they pay for moving it or if we do, I can add that to the phone line list to move. My list of questions. We also talked about in the town office and talked about some signage and stuff like that. It was proposed and the office staff and myself thought it'd be good to bring it to the group. Looking at something around the lines of town of Canton, and it was also mentioned because of the years that Jackie has put in our town office over the years through being town clerk, all the other volunteering and working that she's done for us, 3 years of service as selectman. That we call it the Town of Canton Jackie Conant Memorial Town Office. We were kind of looking for the board's direction and what we thought about it.
Little ceremony.
What we're talking about is we're gonna get with Dave here probably next week and find out if he can give us a week that he's pretty sure we'll be moving in. And then, I wanna talk to the chamber and see about doing the ribbon cutting. We can do an opening day and all that kind of stuff.
There may be, we won't know until we have the date, but,
So we can do it.
we may have to be closed a day or possibly 2 if we move one. But
Yeah,
Actually
have
get
that on-
stuff moved over and on.
have that on items on, not on the agenda, if you wanna talk about it now, got an item moving already, do another day.
Easy look at it.
Fire department, water district.
the thing that we're questioning is do we need to rent a U-Haul? Only because, well, we can't really do flatbeds. If you've got the
Our
enclosed
issue
space.
is we have, if you have an enclosed thing, the only thing we're thinking is we have boxes that don't have tops.
Right.
And we don't wanna be going down the road with papers.
Full place enclosed trailer, I
Okay.
can park here and they can just keep loading it until it's full, then we can move it
Yeah.
down and
That's fine.
Okay, that's
move
all.
it down a little bit.
Okay.
Well, yeah, my contractor trailer.
That was the only thing we were explaining, is we didn't want to
Even
go
more, I can get a 48-foot enclosed trailer and park it out here and disassemble the whole building.
No, we don't want it.
It's already working on it.
It might fall apart if you take the stuff
Goes in the trailer, it's 20 miles.
But I mean, I was thinking about that, you know, we get a whole bunch of bodies in here because the water district's gonna have to go, so that gets the water district all in over.
My thinking is if you close on one Saturday, last business day here would be a Thursday. For the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, to get stuff moved and set up so you can open on a Monday. What do you guys think?
As long as the phone lines and stuff and the phone company are ready to
Yeah,
roll,
you
then
gotta,
we should be good.
As long as everything's in there, 'cause I don't wanna get up there and that, you know.
So we figure, you know, if you had Friday to pack up,
Like I say, if we-
the place, bring all mansion in on Saturday.
And spend all day Sunday unpacking it.
Set it the way you need it to be set up, making sure everything's working.
We can do some of the moving on Friday as well. So you have access to the trailer that we can haul.
You're not planning on taking all of this stuff down at that same time, or you, archive?
Yes.
Anything,
What's in
yeah, it all has to
According
go.
to Lindsay, he said it would be more productive if we're gonna have it all in basically the back room where we're voting. For them to come through, look at and do it rather than come here for a while and we can have it all spread out.
So probably what we would do, the process would be moving that section first, because that's indefinite everyday stuff. So that would go first, that way they could start unpacking and getting ready for the first open day. And this stuff would be the second load. Right.
The archive room.
Yep, the archive stuff would sit in that
I'll
back room.
where it belongs, and then when if we hire that company, we bring it out after the meeting, so.
Because there's not only this stuff that has to go, there's the huge pile that's with the historical society. That everybody I talked to, the pile keeps getting bigger. Yeah, one time I hear it's this big and it keeps getting bigger,
As
so.
long as we don't get smaller,
Well,
we're
that's a big
all
pile,
right.
we moved out of that building.
Alright, so we'll try and nail down the date of that, and whoever we can get for volunteers will be most appreciated.
I guess something we're in town also. We were thinking to film that island out front. With the flagpole, and we were gonna put a sign out front. The car sign is on the building, which you can't physically do. So if we're gonna be doing the signage replacement, to do some type of sign there. And we also have local businesses.
You wanna see it?
For LED signs. I was looking at both